It's Thursday, July the 6th, 2023. You're listening to episode 16 of Wes and Shelly Share, Camping Without Kids. There are no human children here, Shelly. Can you describe the children that we have with us and the setting in which you find yourself after having a glass of a delicious beverage and questioning whether or not you should be recording right now?
You're so funny. All right, so yes, we are camping, quote, without kids, but we do have our two fur babies with us. So this is Rosie's first camping trip and Moose's second camping trip. And so far, they've just done beautifully. I don't know, do you want me to tell them about the campground or about where we are right now?
Tell them where we are right now, and then we'll talk about the camping.
So right now, we're at the Linville Winery. This is our second time to be here. It's absolutely beautiful. It's nestled inside. You can see the grape vineyards growing all around us, as well as right behind us, a Christmas tree farm. So there's a little pond and many families out. There's live music. It's beautiful. A little red barn. It's just very idyllic. So we have a glass of Riesling, Linville Falls Winery. Our family is passionate about making a name in the Appalachian high country wines. Anyway, so it's been wonderful. And we avoided the rain today. We had rain coming in. We actually spent today at Banner Elk. And then we're doing this on our way back before going to the campground. So anyway, it's just wonderful.
We went to Beech Mountain, which is the tallest town, I guess, in the eastern part of the United States, east of the Mississippi.
Yeah, and we saw where they do snow skiing in the winter at Sugar Mountain. And anyway, just so many neat little places around here to visit. Yeah. And we've just, today was our go and see day. So yesterday was our hiking day. But we did a fun little hike today, though. It was it reminded me of walking in, I don't know.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii, or what I would envision Costa Rica might look like. It was along the river
very
and
tropical.
Waterfalls. Yeah, it was wonderful.
So we're going to talk, we're going to tell some stories about camping without children, or camping without kids. We're going to talk a little bit about books we're reading now. We'll have halftime, which is everyone's favorite. Then we're going to reflect a little bit about our feelings about the changing stages of professional life in which we find ourselves. And we're going to end with a Wanderlink and a Wonderlink. So that's it. So, how is life different when you're camping without your kids?
Well, I'm telling you, this camping trip is different from a lot of tent camping that we've done. So, for those of you who haven't heard past episodes or know us very well, so my first camping experience with Wes was, we actually went on a weekend trip to New Mexico. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of out in the middle of the wild and wilderness. And anyway, it was fun. We had a great time. But my big trip was a backpacking trip, again, before we were married, to the Tetons. And it was wonderful. We had a great time. We backpacked. Yeah. And it was fantastic. I had done some backpacking and camping. I grew up camping with my father, and had done some backpacking trips with a church, mission groups. So that was fun. But that was kind of my, I guess, what do you call it, a shakedown, where you kind of see if I had what it took to be a outdoor adventure wife. So anyway. And
she passed with flying colors,
oh, absolutely. Of course. And we camped in tents. But most of our camping experience with our children was all in a pop-up trailer or some kind of trailer. We didn't really do tent camping with them. So we're kind of going back to our roots by doing tent camping. And Wes, why don't you tell them a little about the campground that we're staying in right now?
So we are staying at Linville Falls RV Campground, and it's a private campground. It's right off of the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is, I guess, hundreds of miles of amazing 2-lane road that's completely non-commercial. There are no trucks or commercial vehicles allowed. There are no billboards. There are no exits for gas stations. It is, and the speed limit is 45 miles an hour the whole way. And we've driven on this a little bit, but, I did a bunch of research about a month ago. I brought both of our girls up here to this area to a place called Grandfather Mountain, which we'll talk about. And we went actually backpacking in Grandfather Mountain State Park and went up to a place called Storyteller Rock. But of course, backpacking is a lot different than car camping. And so out on that trip, and actually it was visiting, I think, maybe at the top of Grandfather Mountain, there is a store. And I had a great conversation with, I think, the manager, and he told me a lot of different tips of places to check out, and one of them was Linville Falls. That was just one of the most beautiful waterfalls that you can see from the parkway. So did some research, went on to TripAdvisor and other websites, and one of the things that I heard was just how amazing this bathhouse was. And you might not think that's that big of a deal, but
hot showers is a huge deal.
They have
while you're camping.
300 gallons of hot water in this bathhouse that has like 6 different, separate bathrooms that each have their own toilet and shower and dressing area. And it's just in the middle of camp. So it's divided between primitive camps or campsites that don't have hookups, which is where we are. And then the hookup, sites where, there is a fifth wheel and some different RVs and things like that. But people have electricity and water over there. But it's just wonderful. The camp was built in the early 60s, and the owners, we learned today, are the 7th owners of this. And it is small, but it's also, I mean, do you want to talk about the weather? Because this has just been amazing.
Oh, the weather is gorgeous. I mean, so light rain falls, of course, a little bit in the evenings, but the temperatures have just been in the low 90s.
Oh gosh, no.
Upper 80s?
It's been in the 70s. I think it's been...
Was it?
Yeah, it's been like high 70s. Like right now it's 78.
It's cool today.
It hasn't hit 80 though.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, well,
And
it's just been...
And I think it's gotten down... Maybe it's gotten into the 50s, but, 60s. It's just incredibly idyllic.
I mean, you don't need a jacket.
There's no wind.
No wind.
The rain. We got quite a bit of rain last night, actually.
Yeah.
But I've never camped in temperatures.
Very few bugs.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten a few bites, but not many at all. It's just, I don't know. I mean, usually when we camp in Colorado in the summer, it gets really cold at night.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're at altitude. And you've got to wear a coat and really bundle up and stuff.
Yeah, layers. Lots of layers when you're camping in the Rockies.
I mean, it is just...
it's pleasant.
So
it's just pleasant. We have our sleeping bags, but we're really just using a blanket. And we have... Okay, this is what's different. We're not sleeping on the ground. We're sleeping on camping cots, which I wouldn't say is like the most comfortable. I've had a hard time sleeping, I'll be honest. I've had a hard time sleeping. But part of that's because Wes doesn't have his CPAP. Yeah. Part of that is just because it's really kind of hard to get comfortable. But it is so much better than sleeping on the ground. And it's so much nicer because we're not all cramped in there with 4 and 5 of us. Without the kids, we have so much more space. And Rosie spends most of her time up underneath my cot, so...
The fireworks scared the dogs a little bit on the 4th of July, and
but not bad.
It wasn't terrible. They were at a nearby.
It didn't last very long, but that was hard.
We got to a point in our marriage where Shelly was like, I want a floor, and I don't want to just have a tent.
Yeah.
And so that was where we had this pop-up trailer that your parents helped us buy, and that was really wonderful. We had so many good memories going to New Mexico, especially to Jemez Springs, which is our favorite place. We just went back there time and time again. Labor Days, Memorial Days, we would go right after school, would get out, and we would just pack the trailer. We had a 4Runner at that time, load it up, the dogs, everybody.
Oh, and this is what's really nice too, is like we can leave things out. I'm sure there are bears here in the mountains of North Carolina, but we're not having to be so intense about bears and animals. And
we heard a very, very distressing sound.
Well, it wasn't distressing. It was just
2 nights ago.
I thought at first it was a coyote, but it wasn't a coyote. I think it was a wolf dog is what I think it was.
I mean, it sounded the most wolf-like of any, because I've heard coyotes multiple times, and they yip, and, and it's a little, eerie to hear them, but I mean, this was a howl, man, and I do not think it was a dog howl. So, well, we've explored Deep Gap. That's where we've gone twice with an Airbnb and a vacation rental by owner, which is nearer to Boone. Up here in this part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Boone and Blowing Rock are two of the larger towns. Today, as Shelly said, we went into a town called Banner Elk, and then we drove up to Beech Mountain, which I had really not even heard of before. There are a couple ski areas here, which that seems weird to me too, because I don't think of North Carolina as snow skiing, but there is. And so there's Sugar Mountain and there is Beech Mountain. And Beech Mountain has a wonderful bark park. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so the dogs got to get out there and run around and meet some friends. And then we ended up just kind of driving around and finding a lovely
picnic spot.
It was a pond for fishing, but then there was this river that had these trails, and we got to hike down. That's what Shelly was saying was pretty rugged, and it was exciting. I'm trying to look at it.
I know, but I don't have it up, so I'm going to bring it up for you.
We share our notes when we do these. I do a note in Apple Notes, which I'm using all the time. I used to use Evernote, and I've used Google Docs or whatever, but notes are so easy.
Anyway, it's really nice.
So.
I think the best thing for me is having hot running water and flush toilets and being able to wash the dishes in a wash tub with hot running water. And that's been great. Camping with children is hard. Just keeping everybody clean, and it's a major effort just to wash down and
cooking for everybody,
getting ready for bed, and everybody's dirty and anyway, but this camping without kids has been lovely. Although I do miss the kids. I mean, I miss having the activity and
we have some connectivity, which is both good and bad.
Yeah.
So we went to Grandfather Mountain the first day and had a picnic up there, and it was beautiful. Shelly did not want to go across the swinging bridge, which was fine, but it's a gorgeous view up there, and then we had a picnic and a little hike. And then yesterday we went to Linville Falls, and we did the upper falls, and I want to go back at some point. We could do that tomorrow before we go back if we wanted to, or on the way. Because you can do a second hike that's shorter, but it is down below. But it is a huge canyon. And you got a special text message during our...
I did. Hike. We were... we haven't really heard much from Rachel. I'm hoping that we have a letter when we get home.
Rachel's at basic cadet training at the Air Force Academy.
So,
I dropped her off last week.
But she sent us a text message and was able to get a quick call. She had some questions she needed answered for her security clearance, and so she couldn't talk. It wasn't a visit, but it was great to hear her voice, and she sounded a little stressed, but like she was managing, so that's all good news.
Okay, so before halftime, we were also going to talk about the books we are reading now. What are you reading now, Shelly?
Well, I love reading, and those of you who know me, I love science fiction, and so I have read this series a long time ago, or at least 6 or 7 of them. I'm reading The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and if anybody's ever, it's like a massive, I don't even know how many books are in this series.
Have you read it before?
Yes. But he died actually before, and then Brandon Sanderson had to finish it up. But it's also a series on Amazon Prime, I think. So
a video series?
The book is just really developed and really, I mean, he's an amazing author, but it takes him forever to tell a story. So I like it because it has it's magic, and it's a fantasy world, and it's strong female characters, and I enjoy all of that. So I'm on book 2, and I'm kind of watching the TV series and reading the book at the same time. So it's been good.
Awesome. And so I just finished a book called Pirates of North Carolina, which was a reprinted pamphlet from like the North Carolina Historical Society or Association or something.
Oh, he wants to go play with those
kids.
kids.
These kids are all playing football, and Moose wants to go play with them. And so anyway, that was interesting. Just learned a little bit of North Carolina history, and thinking about pre-colonial as well as colonial and Civil War times. And yeah, it is sprinkling a little bit. But there's the sun.
It's beautiful.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at it coming
We
down.
should have a rainbow if I look around.
Yeah, we might. We'll have to go look for it. Yeah. And so, but then I really have to force myself to read books now, because I tend to just read more short form articles, and blogs and stuff like that. But I have been reading a book called Christ or Caesar, Church and Nation in Christian Perspective. It's by Alan H. Harvey and Carl S. Hoffman. I'm going to actually do a whole review on it. I think I've got one more chapter left. It's a pretty quick read. But man, it is so important because we have a large number of folks confused today about, basically subscribing to nationalism instead of patriotism. You guys can pet the dog. That's Moose.
He has been wanting to play with you.
All right. Oh, Mom, you just knocked over the table. All right. So anyway, that's a great book, and I'm gonna I'll share if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else. I will share a review of that later. But I think we need to do halftime. The kids are playing with the dogs, and then we come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about the feelings we have about our changing stages of professional life, which are definitely different today. And we'll do our Wonderlink and Wonderlink. This episode of Wes and Shelly Shares is brought to you by Cook with Wes. Cook with Wes is my, Wes Fryer's, personal passion project, sharing lots of food photos, a few recipe videos, lots of barbecue and smoked meat adventures, and many other recipes from my indoor and outdoor kitchens. You can find all our family recipes on food.wesfryer.com and follow Cook with Wes on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're on Mastodon, and really, why not? Since Twitter has become a bit of a dumpster fire, you can search for the hashtag CookWithWes to find my latest food shares there. Well, I did start a separate YouTube channel for Cook with Wes, but I've continued to post most of my cooking videos on YouTube on my main channel. You can access the complete playlist at wfryer.me/cook. Thanks for tuning in to Wes and Shelly Shares. I hope to see you on social media on one of the channels for Cook with Wes. All right, well, welcome back from halftime. We have had an interaction with a lot of kids playing with the dogs and a downpour of rain, but now the sun is back out and the kids are back. And we are going to talk about how we feel about our changing stage of professional life, because it's a little bit different for each of us. So, Shelly, where are you with your feelings this summer, looking towards August and the fall?
Well, I've definitely had mixed feelings. I think on the last podcast, we let everybody know that I had resigned my position at Shiloh Valley Elementary School and that I would be joining Wes at Providence Day School. I'll be working as a teaching assistant in the 5th grade with a teacher who does language arts and science. So I've been in and out of Targets, and all of the back to school stuff is coming out, and I'm thinking, and then wait, no, I don't have to get a classroom ready. I mean, so in one way it's kind of nice not to be thinking about spending money, getting a classroom ready, and thinking about what my classroom theme is going to be and how can I make my room inviting for students. And but in another part, it's a little different because you don't know what to expect or what's coming up. Or I am really beginning to enjoy the thought and idea that I don't really have to make lesson plans anymore, and I don't have to grade papers or have parent-teacher conferences, and I know I'll have a lot of other responsibilities, and 100% I want to support the classroom teacher on whatever it is that she's doing, but to not have to be the one, quote, in charge, I think feels pretty good.
In this time of, just the whole year, and also considering other jobs and what you might want to do or whatever, it seems like you've really settled on space as something that you're super passionate about. You want to talk at all about that in terms of...
Yeah, I was talking about that this morning, about, I have loved science, teaching science. I love doing design thinking activities. I've really enjoyed coding and robotics, but I think the thing that I really have enjoyed the most, just because it's a passion project of mine, is space education. And opening those doors of wonder and curiosity and adventure to students. And I'm hoping I will be able to maybe have an after-school club or some opportunity to participate in that. We did not get to go to the SEEK conference this year, which is the Space Educators Conference.
In Houston at the Johnson Space Center.
But I'm hoping to maybe participate in that again and maybe participate in some other activities, So there's some nonprofits that I want to look into about and see if I can volunteer and work with teachers and students in that capacity. But anyway, I think definitely the possibilities I am looking forward to for this next school year.
Ooh, I am looking forward to teaching some different classes next year. Last year I just taught a computer applications or media literacy class and then robotics. Well, and then I also did an intro to engineering. So this year I'll still do intro to engineering and computer applications, but I'll also do an intermediate coding and also, well, I guess those are the three classes I'll be doing. And so I've got a bunch of work still to do this summer, getting my courses materials loaded into Canvas and then looking at how I want to design those courses. But I did a little bit of writing this summer. We've been gone a lot, which has been wonderful, to spend time with family and to be able to, I think, really help Shelly. Oh gosh. Process and detox and
heal.
That's your word. Yeah, my word is healing. Heal from the trauma of the last year, which was not all trauma, but it was some significant trauma. And so finding ways, just like with this camping trip, to be able to, get in touch with things we love, nature, wineries, travel, seeing new places, just being able to spend time together, reading. These are things that fill Shelly's cup, and mine as well. And she said yesterday she felt cherished. That is an awesome thing. So I think that one of the great things about being in the empty nest is the opportunity for us to develop our relationship. And I told her I felt like this was sort of almost like a honeymoon. It's been a long time since we were just the two of us, camping, and it's really lovely. Yes, we miss our children, but there's so many things that we I think are just growing together with, and having the chance to reflect and being able to be in beautiful places. And goodness gracious, we're so thankful to be in places that are cool. It's just been excruciatingly hot in many parts of the United States and North America. And so we just continue to fall more and more in love with North Carolina. We have some wonderful friends and wonderful relationships back in Oklahoma, and people that we miss for sure. But we are so happy and so thankful that we made this move last summer. We're also very thankful to not be making that move this summer and to not have all of that, trauma and upheaval.
So Wes, we've talked a little bit about what I'm doing this next year. What are some of the things that you are thinking about as you've mentioned an innovator? So what does that mean? And as in a role as to what you're going to be doing next year?
Well, it's really interesting whenever you come into a new situation of any kind, but a school, kind of getting the lay of the land, and then, expectations and roles are different. And so where I came into my last school as the director of technology and really had a positional opportunity to, I think, really lead some innovation and some, creative learning initiatives on different fronts, and then also do a lot of really mundane things like, update a phone system and, keep a switch network running when you had storms and power outages, and there was just so many different things. But anyway, I'm a classroom teacher, and I'm in a department whose first letter I stands for innovation. But kind of I have a desire to be able to share some things. I've been an instructional coach for years, but I don't have that formal role in my school now. So I don't know. I think I'm going to write a letter to my principal later this summer with some ideas about some things I'd love to share. I'm really excited about digital storytelling. We may have an opportunity. I think I'll have an opportunity this fall to work with our county librarian for Family History Month and do a series on family oral history. And then we were just messaging with the lady who's getting together our church retreat for this fall. And I had mentioned on Facebook, how I might want to do, it might be great to do some oral history interviews with some members of our church about some of the community mission and social, I don't know what you call it, social justice, just mission, I guess, that our church is engaged in, serving people that are in affordable housing, folks who are experiencing homelessness, serving the poor, and just serving, members of the community. And so anyway, I hope some of that will spill over into school as well, but it's just interesting. Schools are interesting when you get into a school and you learn about the personalities and the dynamics and things like that. There's so much that is not on the website, and it's not something you necessarily, see right away off the bat. And there's things that you learn about the ways that, people operate, and innovation and creativity is an interesting thing. So I hope that I'll be able to share some of those passions and some of those ideas with other teachers and with colleagues as well. But I'm really looking forward to you coming to PD. What do you have any concerns, or what are your feelings besides it is a little weird going from teacher to teacher assistant, and you've talked about looking forward to not having to do lesson plans and stuff like that. But you're going to have some more time on your hands, I think.
I know, and that's why I was talking about I wanted to do some work with the nonprofit stuff.
Do you want to talk any more about that?
No, not really, because not yet.
Not yet.
I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
I'm still seeking.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about our Wonderlinks and our Wanderlinks, and I think we're going to be done. So, Grandfather Mountain. For people that don't know, what is that?
It's definitely our Wanderlink. So Grandfather Mountain is a really amazing area. And it used to be part of a very large, thousands of acres. And the gentleman who owned it was a naturalist. He was a photographer, and he really was into nature education and protecting nature and protecting wildlife. And anyway, I guess when he passed away, well, he had started some education, nature education opportunities to just talk about the animals that were here and the flowers that are here.
Mildred the bear.
The ways that we can, protect natural beauty.
Because it's a very biodiverse area that we're in.
Yeah. And so, and then when he passed away, I think his children sold that portion of it.
2/3 of it they sold to be a state park.
To be a state. Anyway, so it's got an education center. It's got some animal habitats where they have some bald eagles and some black bears and cougars and elk, kind of some of the animals that are in this area naturally. And it's just well done, beautifully done. Has a swinging bridge and beautiful panoramic views that you can see of the Appalachian Mountains. And anyway, so it's just it is fee based, so you do pay to get in, or we have a membership. So we plan on coming up. Wes brought the girls up here, and then we've been here now, and we plan on coming again. And just a wonderful place to continue to explore and hike, and lots of trails to explore. And anyway, we've really enjoyed that. She hurt?
Yeah, she got hurt. This other one's going back to tell Mom. So Grandfather Mountain is touted as the #1 tourist attraction in North Carolina. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe at some time it has been. It is in this whole area, as I've mentioned, near Boone, near Blowing Rock, near Banner Elk, and the Highland Games are going. I've never even heard of them before. You know something about the Highland Games. 30,000 people, I guess, are descending upon Grandfather Mountain right now for the 4-day Highland Games. And so we've added that to our bucket list. What is that, and why do you want to come back for it, Shelly?
Well, I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, it is a gathering of the clans. So a true gathering of the clans. I guess there are a lot of Scottish people in this area, and land grants that were granted to them. A lot of have immigrated over. But anyway, this is one, like you said, the largest.
It's like an Olympics almost, I think, isn't it?
So, and I think it dates back long time,
So there's different Highland Games in different places, but this is the largest one in
music
in the United States, and so
games that they participate in.
But that's a lot of people.
We didn't attend because we have the dogs, and it's not something we can take the dogs to. Probably
not dog friendly, so.
But
maybe we'll come back.
Yeah, I would love to come back. Absolutely. So the book that I read, the Diana Gabaldon series, Outlander, a big chunk and portion of that is they live here in North Carolina, and so that always makes me think of that too. So.
Right. Okay. So that is our Wander link, and then our Wonder link is,
well, it's not really. I mean, we usually try to make it a link, but since Rachel has gone off to be a cadet and is participating in basic cadet training. Yeah, that thing. Anyway, they have this thing called Web Guy, and they have photographers, kind of like party pics, and back in the day. But they go out and they take pictures all the time of all of the students and doing all of various things. And so they post the pictures each day. And I'm in a Facebook group of the squadron that Rachel is in, Demon Squadron something 16. I don't know. I'm still working on my
A-Flight CS16.
Yeah, that thing. So anyway, but they post pictures all the time. And so in this group, we're always talking about, I found a picture of because they're all just candid shots. They're not planned. And so you just have to comb through hundreds of pictures to try to find a picture of your child. And so it's interesting just how much time is spent either communicating with other parents or moms or dads of other cadets, or looking at pictures and trying to find pictures today. Somebody had posted a picture of their child with a group of students, and I found Rachel within that. And so anyway, it's just kind of fun.
So we're in a private Facebook group for all parents, and then they have chats within that for each squadron. So it is pretty fascinating, and it's, I think it's both good and bad, but I think it's probably more good, to give parents a chance to be connected to others, to be able to commiserate, to be able to ask questions, be able to celebrate. And it's also just interesting, right, to gain some insight, because parents will share, when they heard from their cadet and what they said. And, it just ranges from, there was, a female here a day or so ago we heard about who's ready to quit, and she transitioned into there is a transition squadron, and there's some real difficulties like that. And then there's
others where we were comparing, we can find them looking at their shoes. Everybody look at their shoes, they've got their running shoes on, they were running.
But some of them also said it was just like summer camp, or that it just, and then somebody who was a preppy, the prep school was harder. This is
some parents are getting letters already from their cadets, and others haven't gotten anything. Some are getting text messages, and so right. There's a lot of FOMO sometimes.
Well, and if any of you listening to this know Rachel, I would like to write a letter to her. That would be wonderful. It really is a big deal to receive mail, especially during the 6 weeks of basic cadet training, which she'll be in until, about the middle of August. So if you're interested, you can reach out and message either Shelly or I, and we will give you her address, and you can send her a letter, and that would be absolutely wonderful. So, all right, well, I think we've done it again. We've talked here for a little over 30 minutes. So
that's awesome.
Shelly, how can people connect with you when they're not listening to our podcast?
Well, definitely connect with me on Facebook, Shelly Fryer. And I don't really tweet anymore. But if you want to get a copy of this podcast, you can go to shellyfryer.com/podcasts. And we have all of our, what did you say, 16 or 17 episodes?
This is episode 16. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That's fantastic. Anyway, so you can also find us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Podcast or whatever your podcast listening source is. So
awesome. All right, and you can find me at wesfryer.com/after, and I probably need to update that a little bit to be a little friendlier, but I've got links to all the channels of where I share, and I'm on Facebook as well as still on Twitter, but on other social media
and definitely
platforms.
Cooking with Wes.
Oh, that's right. Everyone's heard the ad. So, and yes, you want to tell them what did we have for dinner last night? She's already forgotten. It was so amazing. They were...
Oh, the pork carnitas. Yes. Well, everything you make is amazing, honey.
You're very nice.
Yes, everything you make.
So, yeah, I brought some pulled pork that I had smoked actually back in June, but I had frozen. And so, anyway, I made a little video, and I'm going to definitely add that. I haven't added a recipe to my cooking website in a while, and I will do that. So, until next time, we encourage everybody to stay curious.
Go outside.
And keep exploring. Adios.
Wes and Shelly Share is a weekly podcast recorded and published on Sundays by Wesley and Shelly Fryer of Matthews, North Carolina. Learn more and find links to connect on social media to Wes and Shelly by visiting shellyfryer.com/podcast. Content on this podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Only 3.0 license. The Wes and Shelly Share podcast is recorded and published with Anchor and distributed on all major podcast channels, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and more. Please share our show on social media and tell others about us. Let us know on Facebook or via other means what you like about the show, that you're listening, and if you have any suggestions for future episodes. Stay curious, go outside, and keep exploring.